Okay, similar to this, we have actually one more statement called prepared statement. Let me explain the difference between statement and prepared statement first. So statement is actually whatever the statement it is executed, right? What happens is it goes directly to uh, yeah. So this is your statement. So this statement, and in SQL actually you are using a different syntaxes, right? Select star from student. So this statement is, which is written in Java, one second. This statement, this is in database. So every time actually you execute statement, right? It will every time you execute a statement, it will translate that to database statement. That means compile and then executes. So this is, we can say that compile state, execution state. Compile and then execute. So this is actually a problem. Compile means actually, let's say this is what, right? Whether it is syntactically correct or not, actually, it will every time actually it will compile and it will execute. This is a time-consuming process, right? Whereas in SQL, you can execute anytime actually by changing the values here. Once the statement is ready, what you will do, you will just take this one, okay, and you can make like a more values, right? Let's say 5 and Drew 86. Yeah. So this is the way actually once the statement is compiled, uh, you can use this way, right? Okay. So similarly, this is what the compile. Compile is actually first time actually when I executed this statement can execute, and then I am executing by changing the values. So similarly in Java also we can use. There is one more statement called prepared statement. Prepared statement. So what it does is it compiles the statement once. It also compiles, but only once. And in the previous case, actually, every time for every execution, actually, it compiles, right? Okay, for every execution, it goes and it compiles. But whereas in prepare statement, it compiles first and makes a copy of that statement. Okay, makes a copy of statement. And there onwards, actually, it will use that statement by changing the values to execute this one. Okay, so this is the way actually, this is only one-time activity. One time it compiles, and then actually it will go and it will execute based on the copy of that statement. It changes the values and it executes it. So let's look into that very quickly. And then we will also go deeper onto how prepare statement can help in multiple ways. Okay. So the same statement, what I'm going to do, I will alter public. It also throws SQL exception. So everything is same. The syntax wise, everything is same. Here actually you will get the state, prepare statement, connection dot. So here, right, we have, if you notice that statement, and then we have prepared statement. So we will use now prepare statement. In the prepare statement, you need to pass this string, right? You need to pass this string. Either you can pass it like a 1. The arguments actually you need to give. So either you can do like 2, 3. How many values we are passing? 4. So this is the way actually you can pass at question mark symbols, you can pass values. Now actually statement dot set. This is where actually you can set the different values. So what is a name? Set int, right? Set int. Parameter index is just 1 second. Sorry, we don't. So we have actually question mark symbols, right? So here actually we can use, for example, I need to pass integer, and for which question mark we need to pass 1, right? 1. comma ID. So this is the way I can pass it. What is one here? Parameter index, right? First question mark. I already told you, one more time I'm telling it to you. Except in JDBC, everywhere else in Java, it starts with 0. Only in JDBC, all the arrays will start with everything actually. The result set and statement will use a 1 as a starting index. So don't get confused. Except in JDBC, I didn't see anywhere actually it's starting with 1. Okay, so the column index is 1. So we are using ID against that one. Okay, now statement dot set, we have string value, right? So we can set string to command name. So appropriate object types actually we will be using it. Set don't have. Okay, I'll use set string itself for basically it's a both same thing. If you look into our database, so in order to, okay, now table is created. I'm just going back one more time. Table is created. Now, if you want to look into the table structure, right, you can use DESC. DESC is nothing but describing the table. So use the DESC to see how is the table structure is. Yeah. So it's both are same. It's a character string. That's why I'm sending the string values to the it's sending as a string values. Now next thing is I need to create statement dot set string data of birth, fourth value TO. Okay, so this is the way actually you can use it. But what I said, prepared statement compiles once, right? Second, is there any? Okay, I'll figure it out. I don't need to admit anyone, so I want to avoid that admit option. You can join even if I am late, right? You can join in and discuss something. Okay, but I will figure it out that. In prepare statement, what I said, a statement actually compiles every time, and prepare statement compiles once, right? You can ask me like, hey, what's the point actually here? Whenever this method is called, create a multiple statement, the statement actually we are creating here. So this is the time actually it gets compiled. Compiled here. And whenever you say statement dot execute, again, we will use execute update. We'll use execute update to push the results, right? So we'll the same thing. There is no difference between Yeah, so we'll use execute update to get how many results actually it is inserted, right? So it gives you number of results. So you can ask, like, this is the place actually statement will be executed. Now you can ask me, what's the difference between this and this? Because every time actually this method is called, this method, this connection, this statement will be executed. So what's the difference between how you can say that it is executing different how it is executing different numbers, right? How is it executing one time, and how can you say that? Yeah. So that's where actually what we will do, this prepare statement, if it is in the method level, it executes every time. What we'll do, we'll execute that in the instance variable. We'll create that as an instance variable, and we'll also do that. Let's make private. Just like your connection object, we'll also made a instant variable of this one. Okay, I cannot make instance variable statement, this statement, right? Why? Because I'm passing the values here. There is no way that I can avoid uh, statement dot set. It's only possible if you want. Actually, you can see that. See, we have only we don't have anything like that. We have only like a something the metadata related items like a cursor size, fetch size, how many rows you want to fetch it, etc. But we don't have actually anything that I can pass values. But in statement, in prepared statement, for just to avoid confusion, let me make prepared statement. Okay, so in the prepared statement, we are passing the values. We have one statement object which is created here. Okay, and we are passing the values by using setting setters. So that allows us actually to use the compile statement multiple times. So let's look into our main application and create another student. So DAO dot create. So this time I'll give 6. Some name, right? And yeah, we already give. Some data. This also throws error. So what I'm doing, I'm just catching that. Okay, now right, instead of executing this one, I'll execute let me execute this one. Some error. It is saying that you are passing int, but int is null. We are passing here, right? Oh, null pointer option. Prepare statement is null. We didn't assign back. Okay. Now let's try it. Yeah, it executed. So let's go on, check it, whether it inserted the data. Yeah, 6 Caroline executed. So this is the way actually you can use a prepare statement. So for any questions on using the prepare statement?
No, sir.
Okay, any others?
No, sir.
Okay. Now look at the advantages of prepare statement. It's not only the compile time execution is saving, also it saves a lot many things with respect to the security. Sometimes this may be your standard interview question. What's the difference between statement and prepare statements? Okay. It also saves statement is more vulnerable in security. Prepare statement is more actually safe in the in terms of secure connection. Why, you can ask? Okay, now right, this statement, right, in hacking there is a concept called SQL injections. What it means, okay, they will take these statements, okay, maybe actually somewhere actually when you are exchanging the traffic, right, you can go to developer tools here, anywhere actually you can go to developer tools, whether it is Microsoft or whether it is Internet Explorer, Edge, Chrome, anywhere actually we have developer tools. That's actually comes with more tools. Yeah, developer tools. For Windows, it is like a function F12. For maybe Internet Explorer, also same thing. But for various browsers, actually, it has different shortcut keys as well. So you can use that one. So developer tools, if you can go it, right, it shows you in the network what you are trying to do it. For example, let me clear out everything. You don't have it, right? This is, I'm just typing google.com, right? So it went and fetched all the data. How it fetch all the data, you can see it using the developer tools. Into 2000 milliseconds, it fetched it. When you hit google.com, the request headers, what you sent, and response, how you got it, what you got it, and everything, actually you can see it. So this we cannot avoid it. Okay. So if somebody actually in your query, let's say you have select star from student, here it is there. This is what actually your browser has a text window, and the text window you are passing these values. What you are trying to do here with the prepare statement, with the statement actually you are directly going for execute statement, and then what if actually this statement, right? I can pass anything values that is coming from the text field. Let's say there is a text field and submit button is there. I'm passing any values, and that data may get inserted without you notice it, because your program only takes whatever the values are there. And here actually I can pass, instead of ID, maybe I can pass like a something, whatever I want to do it. Right. And within the say statement dot execute, the statement will be executed. So it may add some data, or it may delete some data. Okay. Or it can read some more extra data than intended. Right. So to avoid that one, if you pass this way, right, all your statements, your statement is not exposed, first of all, to anyone. And all the IDs, right, it also marks the values. For example, even if you pass something values with the spaces and all, it will mask those values, and it will try to put the safe values in the uh, string object and anywhere. That's why actually here we are using int, right? When you use int, it only makes int. When you pass string, right, it will mask that values, whether it has spaces, what kind of value it is, anything actually it will mask, and it will insert, it will store that values only. So that's why it is safer to use prepared statement than statement in many ways. Statement is just basic one, uh, okay, where it is simple to use for one-time execution. But whereas prepare statement is more like a compiled statement, and it can be reused across your application, uh, and it stays there. Okay. Okay. Now, this is what about prepare statement. Now we learned about insert, how you can insert the data. Similarly, we will also learn about how you can delete some data. Okay. So let's go back here. This is insert statement, right? So delete statement is simpler. So you can simply, let me first actually uncommit, delete. Okay, delete syntax here is delete star from student. Just like how you are selecting delete star from student. So this will delete all your data in your table. I think star is not there here. Yeah. So this will show. Now if I go and see, there is no data. Select star from student, there is no data. Delete from student will delete all the data from your database. So now actually I don't want to do it. So I am rolling back. So all data, we have it. But what I want, right? I want to delete certain data, that is duplicate data, right? So how can I do it? Here, if you want to do a particular row delete, delete, right? You can use by what row you want. Select star delete from student, where that's where your where row comes, where clause will come, where let's see if it works. No. Let's take help. There's no way that yeah. So we can use at row ID. So let's see actually if data is deleted. We have still 4 this one, right? So let me execute one more time. Two, three, four. Right. So row ID is still not working. Delete from where row ID equals to. What is the result it is showing? 0. No rows affected. This is the one actually. Row ID. Still showing unknown column. Okay, we'll see that. But in other ways, right? Let's look into database. In other ways, actually, we can use by name, where name equals to, because this is a known column. A row ID is what actually implicit column. I don't think it is there in MySQL. We'll figure it out that one. Name equals to Ananya, right? This one I'll delete it based on the name or based on the column. So this deleted 4 rows, if you notice it. Okay. Same way I can delete because these are all actually common, all common values. Let's try in another way. Name equals to Mike, and also you can pass certain other parameters. DOB equals to, let's say you are giving some value, date of birth value, but using this one, there is no Mike in your table. There is no Mike with date of birth 2000. So what it happens, it shows that it successfully executes the statement wise. Actually, there is no issue, but since there is no data, it won't delete anything. It just shows that 0 rows deleted. But at the same time, actually, if I do delete from, right, it deletes the data. So 1 row is deleted. That's how it works actually, the delete statement. So one more time, I am recapping. So delete syntax is delete from the table name, and we can pass the where clause. In the where clause, actually, you can put like a certain conditions, what particular data you are deleting. A deleting row is not a choice there. Okay. Delete from student will delete all the data, but that's not actually what you generally do, right? You always will execute to delete a particular row because it's a database. It's more safe to you need to be more vigilant to use certain statements. Yeah, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 rows. So this is how actually we will do in on the using SQL statements. So same thing actually we'll try to use on the using our program as well. Maybe we'll pass like a what is name for the time being, string name, whom you want to delete it. So I already told you, right? Prepared statement is the best way to use it. So we'll also use prepared statement here. But our statement is private string delete statement equals to what is our statement is delete from student where name equals to question mark. And here one more type variable I am creating, prepared statement. Delete PS or prepared statement. This is my, I am using it for delete. So same way, I'm also coming in the constructor connection dot create prepared statement. Prepared statement, and I am passing the delete statement here. So prepared statement will be created during the construction of the DAO class. Now here, what I will do, dot set string, only one value is there, name. I'm passing it. Yeah, it throws exception. All prepared statements, all statement executions will throw SQL exception. Just 1 second. Sorry about that. So here actually we will use delete prepared statement, right? Here, just execute int rows, how many rows it is deleted. Delete. Yeah, I already told you, right? For any of the for all DML statements, we'll use execute update. So I'm using execute update so that it returns me how many rows it is deleted. Return rows. Now in my test program, I'll go and I'll add another method to call this one DAO.delete student. So what name I inserted here? I inserted Caroline. Let me delete Caroline. It asking me to catch the exception. Okay, now I will call this method test method. So let's execute if Carolyn will delete it. Number of rows deleted is 1. So that means Carolyn might have deleted. Let's go back and see whether yes, it is deleted. So likewise, actually, let's say if you are passing Andrew, you will see that 2 values are deleted. Number of rows deleted 2. So there will not be any more Andrews here. This one. So this is how actually you can use the delete statement. So far, any questions here?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. But actually, this has some issues, right? Like what I notice here is actually it's allowing me to delete multiple rows, and it is allowing me to insert multiple people with the same name. While it is common, we need to have a we need to give even in your let's say that this is your class. If I have like a Kavya, right? It's not restricted to join another Kavya. There might be multiple Kavyas in the classroom. So how can this database table will help you? Yes, this definitely will help you by putting some other additional columns also. So now you decided that maybe you want to add some more additional values to database. It's not actually ID, name, gender, date of birth only. Maybe you want to give some more additional values. Let's say that what grade she is in. Okay. Likewise, actually, maybe you want to give it. Or another way is the date of birth is already there. For each date of birth, you need to have one name and one date of birth. Meaning, if there are multiple Kavyas, right? Definitely they will be having a different date of birth. So how do you ensure that? While inserting the data, how do you ensure? If you are inserting multiple times, like what we had like earlier, right? We inserted Mike 2 times, Ananya 4 times. How can we avoid that kind of situation here, right? That's where it comes constraints. Right? So if you go here in the database, training database, tables, here, right? Indexes. Right now, we don't have any indexes. Indexes, nothing but how I can say that you already saw the binary tree, right? How it works, index. So indexes actually makes faster access to read data. Also, it helps in constraints, to add some constraints. First, we'll learn about constraints, and then we'll learn about constraints. So, right, maybe DB visualizer gives, let me see actually if it provides yeah, it provides that one. You don't need to type in the statement, but it creates a statement by using this one. See here, create index is there. Index name, we can name it anything. Index 1. Okay. what I am doing, name. I'm just giving, so actually you can use user constraint check. Okay, we can create constraint actually. Instead of going through this one, like we can check constraint. So constraint is nothing but see actually here it is null, 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 right? We can create not null columns also. Also, we can check whether yeah, this is what we can use it. We can say that uh, my columns, two of them should be unique. So that's what we will try to do here. Okay, here column section, we have everything is, I just double clicked it or nothing else in DB visualizer. I just double clicked it so that it will open it. Column, it shows all the column description and everything. Okay, now what I want if you go here, oh, that's it. Graphs, indexes, references, navigator, count. Okay, there is no constraint. So what I will do, let me go with syntax wise, statement wise only. Alter table, because this is what actually alter statement. If you want to add any more columns or any change in the table definition, right? You have to use alter table student. Okay, now that's where actually it tells that okay, I'm going to alter student. Now it comes what I am going to do. If I am modifying the student table, what I'm going to do, add constraint. Okay, what constraint I'm going to add, unique on name and DOB. Let's see if this executes. I think I should give name also. Okay, it executed. Alter table student, add constraint, unique of name and date of birth, it executed. So there is no difference here. It still goes. Okay. Now let's say that if I can insert mic. Okay, mic is inserted. So if I am inserting second time, what happens? Mic is already there with the same date of birth, and that's why it is not allowing it. So these are the things actually which you, while creating the database, you need to come up with a proper design how you can store the data. So we have now actually only one mic. We have only one mic now. Okay. This is add constraint, right? Similarly, you can come up with your own constraints, whatever you have, right? So now also I can add another constraint. Right now, actually, the gender column, right? I can use any value instead of M. Let's say that I am trying to insert another row, 5 and row X. There is no issue, right? It you can see that it executed, but this is not a valid value for maybe according to your design. But in database you didn't specify it. All right, so you can add constraint. Okay, you can use this constraint now. Where is in? One second, let me look that. Yeah, this is constraint. Check constraint. Check constraint with using in operator. Yeah, check. Right. So what you are doing, add constraint. Okay. For this, actually, what you need to do, modify. What column you are modifying? Modify gender. Second, the syntax right. The table. Yeah, modify. Yeah, modify is right. Modify gender. Okay. Now within the gender, what you want to do? It's char of 1. Okay. Size is mentioned. There is no change in the existing one. But what you are going to do, you are adding this check as well. Check this one. Check gender in values M, F. Okay. This is what you are trying to do. Let's see actually if this executes. No. Okay. Why? Because there is already a row exist with a violation. That's why actually it is showing it. It's not executing. So let's delete this guy. Andrew. Where is my delete statement? I'm deleting it. Okay, now execute this one. Yeah. So now if I want to insert Andrew again, okay, it throws me exceptions. Insert into student, check constraint is violated. So if you go back and look into our student, now you can see columns in the column section. There is a collation, for everything actually the constraint we have added, right? So what this is about, what it has, everything actually it's added. It's not showing. Yeah, maybe my editor is not a premium one. That's why it's not showing. Basically, it can show the constraint columns also here. Or we'll refresh once. Here also you can see it, constraints. Yeah, see in the index names actually it came name DOB. That's a index we created, right? Add constraint unique index. Yeah, so unique index it is created on name, date of birth, but constraints actually it is not showing up. Triggers nothing. Events. Okay. Okay, let's go back here. So that's how actually you can create various constraints. There are many constraints according to your need. You can use them. So, okay. Now, if you want to add another column, let's say we have ID, name, gender, date of birth. Okay. If you want to add another column, you can simply use alter table, because once a table is created, you need to modify that one. So simply you can create alter table student. So here what you want to do it, add that column name, actually you need to give it. Let's say we have ID, name, what else I can add for student? Okay, let's add class. Class. Okay, take int, or let's take int. Okay, add class and data type. Just like how you are adding to the data section, right? To how you create statement, right? You can also use class int. Data type is int. Let's try. Yeah, it's executed. Now if you see DSC, class is the new variable added here. Select star from student. Now it gives you class, but very all people have class is empty, null, right? You want to avoid that. So now you want to add another constraint on class. It cannot be null. So let's actually while creating the table itself, now we will see not add constraint. While adding the column itself, okay, you can create like a not null column. So let me delete this column. Okay. Now I don't have class column. I don't have class column. So what I will do, I will say that while creating itself, it is not null. That means it cannot be null. Now the statement cannot be executed. Okay, it's executed. Good thing. See here, actually, if you notice in the description class, in every other column is null, but class column cannot be null. So because it's int variable, let's see what data provided there. It provided, because of the int nature, it provided zeros for all the classes. So now you can go and you want to update each and everybody class. The data is already there and you want to update the class for each and everybody. So what you can do, you can now use, I'm going to update statement now. Update student. Update student syntax is update student set, and what you are setting, class equals to, maybe you can say that it's 12th class. Okay. This will set for all three columns, for all three rows. Update student set, right? Exactly, it works like how your delete statement is. Delete from student will delete all the rows, right? So similarly, delete to update student, that's a table syntax actually, update and then followed by table name. Set is required, and then what columns you are setting up. You can set like a multiple columns also. We'll see that in a minute. So this will set, right? For all three rows, actually the value is updated. Update student set class equals to 12. Now, if you look into database table, select star from student, all students are updated to 12. So that's how actually you can manipulate data. So now actually you want to set student. This is updated. Then for only one particular value. Okay. Set class equals to 10, where name equals to Andy. This gives you to a particular row set, which means wherever name is Andy, for all those rows, actually the class will be updated to 10. Right now, actually we have only one, right? One Andy. So it will update to 1. So if you go back here, likewise, it's not only to one column, also you can set, update the values to multiple values. So let's say that set class equals to 10. Also, I want to change date of birth. One second. Okay. Now where I am, update student, to set the multiple columns, right? So let's say I want to update date of birth also. It's not 1989. Maybe I entered wrong. So I will enter 2004. Okay. And 0709. So likewise, actually you can use with a comma operator. Set is mandatory. Okay. All the blue highlighted words are keywords actually. So update is a keyword. Set is a keyword. Here is the table name, student. Okay. Kill this one. Update syntax is common. After that, you need to give the class, the column names. You can give like as many of columns you want. For each column, actually, you can give value. And this where clause is optional again. Why we are using where clause is, I want to update only to a particular rows, not to the entire table. Without where clause, actually it will update across all column, across all rows. I don't want to do that. So I went for where clause. So it updated only one clause. So let's look into. So we have updated date of birth also here. Okay. Any questions on update statement?
Sir.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, now we learn about primary key. Now you first we learn about unique key. Actually, there is still a problem in this table, right? If I am creating the database table, right? Now let's say I added each and every constraint. Okay, but if I add, if I change the date of birth here, okay, name and date of birth only my identity values, but ID is not is identity. It class value. Yeah. So yeah, one more thing. It's good actually through there. I forgot about this one. So now class we declared as a not null value, right? So if I don't pass null, now onwards actually it will throw error like class does not have a default value. We can create default value also while creating the database table. So what it is, we'll learn maybe when it required. Now actually I'll pass class also to this one. Statement is executed. Now my problem is actually why I have two IDs with the same value. I don't want to do that one. So that's where actually you will come up with the unique column. Unique, just like actually how we did unique on this two, we can give a unique constraint on column as well. So let's go to alter table, modify ID, right? Where I'm not adding constraint, add constraint, but I'm adding modify column int. It cannot be null. Okay. Unique of ID. I added two constraints here, unique and not null. Let's see if this executes. Let me see the syntax once. First not null and then unique. I still doubt actual syntax. I think I should add that as a constraint. Okay. First, actually make this as a not null column.
Sir, here we no need to add table name.
Okay. That's right. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, that's about, I forgot to add the table name. Thank you, Dakshani. Not null. And also you can pass unique. So within the same statement, I am executing two conditions. Okay, it's not allowing it. I think I should do it. Yeah. So now I will do, first actually I added a not null condition, and then actually I will add constraint. Actually, you can pass constraint name also here. It's unique ID. Unique. Okay. So, okay, I got it. We don't need to add the constraints here. We can simply pass unique here in the modify statement itself. So it's showing that actually ID4 is duplicated, right? So first I need to get rid of the data, duplicate data, in order to execute that one. Where is my select statement? This duplicate data, I need to get rid of this one. So what I will do, I will first delete data. Now, where is my delete syntax? Okay, this is delete, and date of birth, what I want to delete is this one. So I will get rid of one row, the last row. And now I can execute this one. Okay, with this, what it does is, okay, I cannot actually reinsert on the same ID. I need to keep increment ID. Okay, so far that's what we'll end it. I can add constraints, and if you look into description, you can show that this is, it is showing as primary key, but actually we still didn't make primary key. We'll learn about what is primary key. So every other column, see, column is nullable, but ID and class are non-nullable columns. Now let's learn about what is primary key. Okay. Primary key is a concept in database where it allows you non-null unique values. Why it considered as primary key here, right? When I created modify column, where it is, yeah, here it is. If you create only not null, let's go and look at how the table description is. Oh, still showing primary key. Okay, so primary unique is nothing but as you already know it. Unique allows unique values only within the column. That means there should not be any duplicate row. Any duplicate row with that same value. And not null is nothing but we added a not null condition also to that one. So primary key makes both of this one, not null and unique key. So again, I am repeating, unique is a way in the database to keep your column a unique field within the database table. And not null, unique doesn't mean that actually it is not allowed a null value. It still allows a null value, but it only allows one null value because null values cannot be duplicated again. It just avoids duplicate values. Not null and unique key is the one actually where it makes primary key. We'll learn about how we can use the primary key in a moment. Now, let's think about actually how it makes unique. How in Java we learned about some data structures, right? So how you can make unique columns, how you can make unique data. Can anybody answer? Everybody sleeping?
Okay.
We learned about data structures, right? Collections, especially.
Yes, sir.
How you can make unique values. Okay, do you know or you don't know it? It's yes or no question.
Don't know, sir.
Okay, you already know what is binary tree, right?
Yes, sir.
So by inserting into binary tree, can you identify? I already explained you set actually almost like a 2-3 days. How actually it avoids duplicate. Binary tree set and all actually I explained you like how it will avoid duplicate values.
Yes, sir. Using
Hash
compare.
map. Yeah, using compare, right? But using compare, what it does, it goes into binary tree and it identifies like a what is the location. If the location is there, it overwrites that one. That's what I explained you, right? The hash set, how hash code will come and overwrites the values within the bucket. This is array list and hash set actually while explaining hash set, it goes into a bucket concept, like a binary tree concept where hash code value will be taken and it goes in that tree All right, where the left one is less value, right one is the greater value, and it goes to that particular value. If still it has a collision, it goes to the equals method to override that one. That's what I explained it earlier. So similarly here, unique or anything, right? Basically unique comes up as a when you store this, when you make this table column as unique. Okay. First of all, actually, all data in database will be stored in one or other form of. Uh, it's not like a plain Excel. In Excel, actually, you can store all this data as is, right? But why we need a database? Why can't we use Excel only? If all data we can store in Excel, because the way it's stored in data in database is little bit different than Excel. For one is for security. Okay. Next one is that's where the concept of DBMS comes. DBMS has like how you can store data. Your Excel can be DBMS, but it cannot be RDBMS because it does not allow a column level security. Of course, it can still allow by adding hide commands. Also, overall, actually, the row level and column level security actually very limited in Excel. Whereas coming to database, it provides a more security, role-based access, and all right. That's where actually your role-based access came up with privileges, whatever I.
Sir, your voice is
explained.
not clear, in and out.
Okay, is it better now? Yeah, is it better now? Hello. Hello, Sabha, can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me?
Sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Where I was, yeah, the indexes and unique primary keys, right? So it allows actually the RDBMS will provide you more than the regular more than your Excel files. So it provides you the privileges grant, or it's like a the who can access to this table, who can not access to this table. Also, it can provide you who can access these tables, etc. So it provides more secured way, and also the data is encrypted. Certain data, not all data, certain data is encrypted. Also, you can make more encryption here in the tables as well. That and all the more advanced concept we'll learn like very later. Apart from that, actually, the more important thing is that how the data it is stored. In Excel, actually, it is stored in a plain single row. But whereas in date here, it stores in multiple logical files. Even though actually we're storing it as a data student table, it stores into multiple pages that called like a paging concept. Within one document, we have like a multiple pages, right? So similar to that, it stores that one. And each page will represent some kind of data. If you don't have any indexes, right, it's just like a your regular Excel. It stores all data in the same page. When the page is overfilled, actually it will go to the next page. But when you create them unique indexes or anything, right, what it will do, it will try to segregate the data based on the binary tree. I mean, high level, it's very high level. It's each and every vendor goes with their own implementation again on top of binary tree. But binary tree is what actually they will be using. So what happens, right? This row, when you say like a name is unique, they will put name, okay, in a binary tree. And if there is, they will go on search for that one. Like whenever a new row comes, right? Whenever a new row coming to insert, they will go on search actually if the record is exist or not. Using binary tree, it is very easy to search it. So if the row is exist, actually it will throw that error. Like, okay, we already found a row. That's how actually it will improve its search capability while inserting. That's what actually the constraint, unique constraint is. When you say unique, the data within the database is stored in logical binary trees or pages to avoid storing the duplicate data. Now, what is primary key? Primary key is a concept where it shows you a unique index value on a particular column. You can have like on a single column, or you can have on a multiple column. Here actually, instead of all doing this one, let's say, for some reason, actually, it is taking unique. It shouldn't even take unique actually. Let's say if I do the same column, right? What I will do, ID int, I will just mention it's a primary key. That's it. So that what it makes that column as unique, and it makes that column as a non-null field also. As of now, it is showing null as yes, right? So after doing this one, let's go on, look at the DS statement. It became null as no, and primary key. It became like a primary key. So that's how actually it will put the results back to you. Sorry, that's what the difference between normal column and primary key. Primary key is whenever you declare a key as primary key, it defines that your that row has a non-null unique field, and it can, within a table, we can have only one primary key. You cannot have like a multiple primary key. So let's say actually you want to create name as primary key. It's not allowed, because that's how actually the primary key is the primary access, like how you want to read the data, how you want to store the data, what is your primary key criteria. Instead, you can have actually multiple keys defined within the primary key. You can have only one primary key. Okay, within the table, you can have only one primary key. Primary key can have multiple columns as well. So in previous example, actually, we have one primary key, right? We can create multiple columns also into primary key. That we'll cover in the later sessions. So again, I'm recapping whatever we covered today. So first thing, we came to Java. We covered the differences between a statement and prepared statement, and we executed same insert statement using prepared statement. The advantage of prepared statement is it compiles once and executes many times. So the compilation time will be saved. And also it provides a more secured way to execute the statements. That's what about prepared statements. Then we learned about delete statement. Delete statement, the syntax is delete from student. Okay. And if you do delete from student, it wipes out all the all the database table, all the rows in that database table. Whereas actually to avoid that one, you can put where conditions. Where conditions provide to choose what data you need to delete, a particular data set or a particular row. Okay. And then we learned about update statement. Update statement, similar to delete statements, it is also a modification statement, data modification statement. So where you can update certain columns. For this, the syntax is update and then table, set you need to require. And within the set, you can provide multiple columns or a single column. For example, class equals to 12, class equals to 10. So you can provide as many number of columns you can provide like this with a comma separated value. But if you don't specify where class, it updates the entire table. If you specify the where condition, it updates where that condition satisfies across all the table. So that's all about update statement. And then we jumped onto alter statements. When the table is already created and you want to modify the table, you will use alter statements. One of the simplest alter statement is alter table student and modify what you want to do it. Modify a type, whether you want to rename a table, whether you want to change the data type of a column, etc. Right? You can use modify command. So you can create a primary key. You can create a not null constraint. Also, you can create a check constraint where the value permits only a particular set of values, where a column value permits only from a particular set of values, and all actually you can set it. There are many ways actually you can do constraints. That eventually we will learn more about that one, but just learn about syntaxes. Syntaxes we will not cover again. It's all about design now, like how you can design the table, how what constraints need to be there, what indexes need to be there, what are the primary keys and all. We'll cover it in going forward. Any questions in today's class?
No, sir.
Okay, then what I will do, I will check in these programs. I will check in this SQL statements. For me, what you need to do is you need to brush up all your previous skills. Today you couldn't even answer how you can store it, unique values in database or unique values in collections. It's not always actually you need to look up when you learn something, try not to forget that one. So do whatever you want. Like for this, the only best way is practice, practice, practice. I don't know actually how many people you are practicing. So practice as much as you can. Even the database table, right? Everybody has installed even more database. Somebody has installed MySQL, somebody has installed Oracle. So try to create tables, play around that one.
Okay,
Again,
sir.
when assignment comes, don't show up empty faces. Seriously, if you show empty faces, I don't want you anymore. Okay. so far I still feel pity myself that you didn't complete one of the assignment. You never even looked into that one. Okay, so I don't want going forward, I don't want any situation like that. Okay, please take it this